obviously you had a few years where you went through a bit of a patch where things were a bit rocky, but how much now do you credit where you've actually, in terms of your structure and your daily routine, and just take everyone into, I know what you actually do from a week-to-week point of view, where you a lot of weeks, the last few years, you were looking after Charlotte. So how much has that actually helped in terms of now having your off-field set, that you just feel that much happier in your life and your
because I think that the hardest thing, and I don't know whether you went through the same. You always had, and you went into business straight away, and you seem to have real structure, in your life. And that's not to say you had everything worked out. None of us do. But I think one of the hardest things when you play professional sport and footy, and this isn't just AFL, this is world sport, is you're doing something that you love doing. Obviously, not everyone has that privilege with in terms of their work, but then coming out of it, you feel lost in a lot of ways, and you're trying to search for that thing that you loved as much as what you did before. And unfortunately, you're never going to go into something probably that you loved as much in terms of playing footy for a job. So, it's working that out. It's time, it's routine. When you've got, or at a footy club, and you've got to be here at a certain time, there at a certain time, and it was structure and that routine that you talked about, then all of a sudden it's over and that's all gone. It was difficult. It was difficult for me, and I didn't think it was going to be, but it was. And I think if you spoke to everyone, I'm sure Swatter might have touched on it when you spoke to him, but I think, it's a real, and I don't mean to want people to feel sorry for AFL footballers. They're privileged in ways, and but it is a real concern after they finish what they go into, and there are a lot of things that the clubs are put in place now to help them to have that, to have that life after footy. But it's hard. It really is hard, and it took me a while to work out.
So is it, the first time round, was it nearly, based on what you're saying, was it nearly too easy with the deal that you had at Fox, where essentially you worked 5 hours on Saturday and then you had the rest of the week off? So that was all, not having that structure, that probably didn't help.
Well, exactly. I think, I got a job at Collingwood where
You had a desk, you never used it?
Yeah, had a computer that I didn't turn on. So, and it was, and transitioned straight in, did some media. And I must admit, I didn't have a great relationship with the media. I was in denial about things. And, so, you're right. I had no structure. The amount of work that I did certainly didn't fulfill me mentally, and it certainly didn't fill up my week. So there were a lot of spare hours to do a lot of things that, that you shouldn't have been doing, probably. Well, not probably, shouldn't have been doing. So, I've found that transition. I did. I found it difficult, and I'm sure Swatter touched on this, but I've done a lot of work on myself and on that, and it took a lot of work. It wasn't just overnight. It wasn't just going to speak to someone and then saying, "Oh, okay, I'm now through this." It was years, not months, and thankfully, came out the other side, and the anxiety and all these different toxic feelings, embarrassment, ashamed, all of those things, and then to work through it in the right way, and then get through the other side and feel a lot better. I think I'm a way better person now than I've ever been, and part of that, unfortunately, is because of mistakes and things that I've made. Because I guess if you don't learn from them or get through them, then clearly they're But I think because of those mistakes, and working through it in the right manner. I just wish I'd started working through it sooner rather than later. But thankfully got through the other end, and I feel much more comfortable in my own skin now than I ever have, and that's including footy. I feel way better about who I am now than what I ever have before, and I'm thankful for those people that helped me get through it.